everybody. Welcome to the Smoking Table. I'm Dre.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Bob.
And here we go, Weed News.
Alright, in Weed News today, we're going to talk about the marijuana section of the CNBC Republican debate. I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now that that's a joke. That there was only one question vaguely asked to Governor John Kasich, probably because Ohio is voting on marijuana next week because they vote in the off year of November in 2015. And I mean, basically, the little bit that, I mean, he basically took his question. He turned the question from marijuana and revenue to first saying that Ohio has a $2 billion surplus. Okay, that was the only part of it that even tied into that question. Because from there, he went to talking about drugs. And from there, he went to talking about economic opportunities. And literally, even the part that he was talking about on drugs, we're going to go ahead and put the audio in. It's 41 seconds.
And how long did that debate last? 41 seconds of like 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
We missed it. We were literally watching a 2.5 hour debate. And we missed the 41 seconds that it was on for.
We purposely watched the debate so that we could talk about it on the podcast, and we missed the part that we were looking for.
Because we blinked.
Or went outside to smoke.
Damn. Really?
But I mean, that's exactly how short it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, the funny thing about it is that right before the debates began, Bernie Sanders was having a little get together where he basically full out just went out and said that marijuana needs to be stripped from its Schedule 1 listing. And that he even went a step further. Because, I mean, most people will say, you know, maybe that marijuana shouldn't be a Schedule 1 drug. Some people say it should be legalized. Some people say that, you know, it should be studied further. And, I mean, besides maybe Rand Paul, Bernie Sanders is the farthest in as far as presidential candidates go, as far as his vision towards marijuana. But he went, I think, the ultimate step of even throwing in, and I think that he had a lot of the states that already are legalized in mind, because he even went as far as say that the banks need to find a way, like, you know, the feds need to find a way to make the banking system work for the marijuana industry.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that's a big step because a lot of, you know, a lot of that gets lost in it. A lot of that is why you're, you know, starting this new venture and bringing in unwanted pitfalls when you're talking about keeping it an all cash business.
Yeah. And he's one of the only candidates that's actually talked about a talking point in the marijuana discussion is the fact that these new businesses that are actually getting medicine out there and recreational use medicine out there, they have no place to take their money. Like, banks won't deal with them. They have to hire security companies, which obviously probably way overcharge this industry because it's a new type of thing and there aren't many people out there guarding these places.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's just creating a snowball effect, like.
And that's the thing, is more states legalize, this is going to become a bigger and bigger issue. And I mean, you're talking about having California legalized, and, you know, having places now that are in the works, Florida, that are like, you know, we have top 10 crime area cities in these states, and you're, you know, that's just antagonizing. That's going to cause problems.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're gonna have to initially probably let private sector control like these little groups of militias to protect these businesses and stuff like that. But
security is definitely going to be a side business that's going to boom from the marijuana industry.
Yeah, like I had already considered creating a security company.
That's pretty cool.
That would be cool.
And just hiring ex-military vets and shit to do that.
So as I mentioned earlier, Ohio, good old Ohio, gets to vote earlier than everybody else.
Ohio.
As early as next Tuesday, actually, on November 3rd, Ohio will be voting for their marijuana ballots. Now, I wanted to look into it because, I mean, you know, the marijuana community needs to cross lines and know what's going on. So, you know, I looked over what their bill is, and it struck me as kind of odd that they have two separate bills that kind of intertwine with each other, issue 2 and issue 3. And I'll just read the stipulations and let you guys see for yourselves what kind of trickery is going on here. All right, with issue 2. No, excuse me. Starting with issue 3, which is their marijuana bill. So issue 3. Yeah, sorry. All right. So, yeah, just cut that out. Okay, issue 3, which is the actual marijuana bill, creates marijuana grow sites that are controlled by investors. Its purpose is to legalize the sale of marijuana, and it also allows for cultivation, but the marijuana that is actually being sold is regulated, and it's I think it's 10 grow sites that they're gonna have in Ohio, and it's gonna be a 15% sales tax. So so marijuana would be legal, you'd be allowed to grow it on your own, but I mean, if you're buying it, you're basically buying it from a controlled system. You're buying Fed weed, basically. Fed has these investors that they have approved to grow all the weed that's going to be sold legally. Now, here's the thing, you know, because in the spirit of entrepreneurship, they have issue 2 that is, although separate from issue 3 and not necessarily a marijuana bill, it says that it basically blocks a monopoly of the legalization of marijuana in Ohio. So if issue 2 passes, then that creates all issues with issue 3. Because if issue 3 passes, it's basically like a my way or the highway bill. Like if issue 3 passes, it has to pass with issue 2 failing. If issue 2 passes, then it nullifies half the things in issue 3. So if both of those pass, this is going to be tied up in litigation for a while. And it's sucks because basically you're saying, you know, you're creating, you know, state marijuana Inc. where your investors that you choose are allowed to make money off of this.
And only those investors.
Yeah. Everybody else is free to grow their own and smoke their own, but if there's money to be made, it's going to be made by these entities.
Okay, I get that.
And then if you try to block that, then you're possibly screwing over your marijuana bill.
I think what I get out of this is the government's trying to turn Ohio into a production plant.
Yeah, pretty much.
To control all of the weed and where it goes and how it's sold. If it's 15% taxed in the state, how much more taxes do they get for exporting it out of the state?
But that's like true Midwest economics, you know. That's what they do with the car companies. That's what they do with the steel companies. Too. Yeah, like, I mean,
farming is.
It's all.
I plant my corn. I sell my corn, but I don't sell my corn inside the state. I sell my corn outside the state because I get more revenue out of it.
Yeah, but you can't sell your marijuana outside the state though, because then you're crossing the federal.
Government.
Government do whatever they want.
So I mean, I think that's a very interesting issue. I mean, it's kind of like it was a tricky way of making a take it or leave it type marijuana bill. So we'll be watching. We'll update you guys on our next podcast on how that goes.
But with both sides, both vote in 3. Either which way, once the votes are done in Ohio next week, marijuana is legal to grow your own, smoke your own?
I think it would take effect at the beginning of the year, but as long as 3 passes, I don't know what stipulations issue 2 would tie to people actually being able to grow their own versus,
Gotcha.
people just not wanting the government supplying the shelves. So we'll be looking out for that, and we'll keep you guys updated. But we are definitely sending shout outs to Ohio, and hopefully you guys can get this done.
Yeah, we'll be watching this closely, so we see how that turns out for you, and hopefully we can either learn from your mistakes or profit from your success. All right, so posted on Science Daily in July. Yeah, it's a little bit late for the article, but I didn't see anybody else covering it. They posted a story called "No Bones About It." Apparently, they did a study over in I don't know where. Fuck.
Tel Aviv University, Hebrew University.
Yeah. Apparently, they did a study that was published by the Tel Aviv University and Hebrew University in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research. CBD can significantly help and heal bone fractures. So far they've only done a study of rats with metafemoral fractures. Noticeably, the CBD enhanced the healing after just 8 weeks. So I don't know if they didn't give me really too many details as if the treatment lasted 8 weeks, or I don't know what the specifics are, but apparently CBD helped. Same research team also linked cannabinoid receptors with stimulated bone formation and inhibited bone loss. This research could fuel American research into issues involving osteoporosis and other bone diseases. So that's actually pretty good.
That's crazy.
It's awesome.
The lead researcher over there, Dr. Yankel Gabbett, states that CBD alone makes bones stronger during healing. So when you break a bone and they treat the area with CBD, the bone actually grows back a vast percentage, thicker, harder, and
that's
awesome.
awesome.
I just went porn with it, but
Bigger, harder,
yeah, that's what it is. So it'll be harder to break in the future. So that's almost like rebuilding bone with a plant, and it becomes stronger than the actual bone was to begin with.
That's so funny because now I can just roll up and do the whole $6 billion man theme.
Yeah.
We can rebuild it.
There's gonna be people out there. There's gonna be people out there that are like, "How much percentage CBD are you, bud?" And you're like, "I'm 76%. I'm striving for 77 by the end of the year." You're just replacing your whole skeletal system with stronger shit.
That's amazing.
It's like upgrading yourself.
Grandma will last forever.
But what if you have to break to fix?
Yeah.
But that's awesome though, because it's there actually was a study that I was reading a little while ago that said that women in that age range where osteoporosis is an issue are actually the biggest demographic of marijuana consumers.
No shit.
Yeah.
The senior,
I think this is 39 to 39 to 69 or something like that.
You just call a whole bunch of 40-year-old women seniors.
Okay, no. 45 to 69.
Yeah, there you go.
You when you had me.
My mom listens to this podcast. She's gonna feel highly offended.
Yep.
She's 46.
I said the ones that are at risk for osteoporosis.
You said 39. My wife is almost in that category.
Okay, it's 45 to 69.
Alright.
That's better.
No, I'm just gonna. Alright, in that age range category of 45 to 70, those are the women that are in that risk zone for osteoporosis. So,
right. And I think because their body can't can't break down calcium anymore or something like that. Is that why? I don't know. I have to do some research into osteoporosis because it's a big word and I like to know what it means.
I'm not sure, but I mean, it's always nice to hear CBD helping another cause.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Because people with that in my job have to drink like almond milk and other stuff like that. And what's it called?
Soy milk?
Soy milk.
Yeah.
Because they can't break down the calcium in regular milk, so they're not able to drink it.
Something like that.
Yeah, we can substitute out for
Yeah, I
free
wasn't
milk.
just guessing about that. I knew this.
That's real science.
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 Right.
So yeah, like you.
High five.
My wife.
That's awesome, dude.
So,
I've actually never heard this story before.
Me neither.
I was really shocked that it wasn't really covered by anybody, and I just discovered it just randomly Googling like weed research or something, and came across it. Like I said, it's from July, but so basically just upgrade your skeleton to CBD, and we'll all be good. Like you won't have any sports injuries anymore. They'll just drop a couple of CBD drops on the joint, and they'll go back out and play.
I like injuries. It helps me win fantasy football.
I'm not saying they're gonna go right back out to the game where they just broke their fucking.
Pour it on me now. I gotta get some. Ball just reconstruction right away.
Give me the shot.
Nah, like Blitz. Blitz was the dopest game.
Yeah.
Blitz.
You just inject steroids and.
Do you want
go
to
about
keep
your
playing?
deal.
Yeah, just stab him with that fucking needle. Okay.
Give me the shot.
You're back in the game.
That was a nice. I like that. That was a good story.
It was pretty cool.
I feel bad that we're going on to something that I feel is kind of creepy from that.
Sports.
But I mean, we at first we weren't going to even do this story, and then I touted for it, and then because we got stuck watching the debate, it gave Dre's curiosity time to actually go and download this app and play with it. So it has now been smoking table tested. The app that we're talking about is called Hi There, and it is a dating app for pot smokers.
It's awesome.
Dre has actually tested this out and played with it, and he says it's pretty cool.
I found somebody that I knew.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I was a dude, and I asked him like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" He's like, "Trying to get a stoner girlfriend." I'm like, "How's that working?" He's like, "I don't have a stoner girlfriend."
That's the end of my research.
But then my favorite one is I'm going through and I'm liking women because the dudes all look like they were gonna rape me. So I'm going through and I'm liking women. So this thick black chick that's like 29 miles away messages me, and she's like, "Sup?" And I'm like, "Hey there." And she's like, you drive?" No, she said, "The fuck?" She told me where she was. I said, "Oh, I'm in Newport with Richie." And she goes, "You got a car?" And I'm like, "No." She goes, "Okay." End of conversation. This is the end.
Done.
You don't have a car. I'm in Clearwater.
Gotcha. So it's real rapey on Hi There.
Super rapey.
Isn't it though on all those dating apps though?
Yeah, like half of them look like just stock photos of attractive people that aren't real.
Right.
And then like 2 out of every 5.
Susie lives next door.
Yeah.
She's ready to suck your cock.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you got one real person. You can always tell the real people because they're ugly or normal looking.
Yeah.
They're like, they do not, everyone else looks like they have professional model photos.
Yeah, that and they have professional backdrops.
Yeah. They're fucking on a beach in Thailand.
Yeah.
So I mean the design, I mean the concept is genuine, and I mean I'm pretty sure in some sector that isn't as creepy as the area that we live in, this would probably actually work out pretty good.
You know the best part of it was though? Geographical fencing is bullshit. And I wanted to prove that, which is why I downloaded the app in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Florida. And it didn't stop me.
So maybe right now it's only open to undercover police officers.
I mean, maybe, but like it's not like I have a picture of me going like this.
That are really lazy and just want you to drive to them to get there.
Yeah, but I don't have a car, so they're never gonna get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm never gonna meet with anybody.
But it says now you have to understand though. It also says that the app is only available. It says the 23 states, but I mean it says where that currently have medical marijuana laws on the books. We actually have
we do.
medical marijuana laws on the books. They just aren't being implemented because our government's shitty. So I mean, technically, I guess in theory you can have the app.
I'm gonna test this out. I'm driving across the border, and Georgia doesn't have anything in place, right?
Nope.
So technically,
I don't think so.
At the border, give or take, that
You
app
should get to the
stop
fence
working.
at the border.
I'm gonna test that shit out.
Geofencing.
But for anybody who doesn't know what geofencing is that they basically try to. It's how they feed information or block information based on the geographical location of your phone.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The government knows where you are.
Just sounds like China. Like, this is our version of the internet. Here you go.
You're allowed to have 2 babies in China now. Well, what?
I saw that.
Video games and babies? What's happening in China?
China's going nuts.
China's going nuts, man. They're just letting you do everything now.
They're trying to prove they're funner than North Korea.
Come to China.
There's so much more
We're
fun.
gonna have 2 babies now. We don't kill second. You like PlayStation? We have one.
We got edit out so much fucking podcast, dude.
It's not the PlayStation, it's the PlayStation.
I'm so happy I don't have to take Derek home tonight.
I'm saving the Chinese people and them for myself personally because I like that. Alright.
So feel free to check out that for yourself. Dre likes it, but that's because Dre likes that kind of stuff.
I also like Whisper.
I got hooked on Whisper for a while.
But apparently either Florida is available to get it or the geofencing doesn't work. So if you want a stoner girlfriend, or boyfriend, or I understand, like, it's a noble concept because that's an issue that, at least is out of the way. Not everybody's cool with it.
It's Tinder for stoners.
But understand it's free dating site, so you're gonna get free dating site out of it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more like
Sausage
somebody come smoke me out. Thanks.
That's exactly what it's gonna be. He's like, I don't have weed. Please come here now.
Yeah.
Which is cool too, because if there are actually nice people out there, you could actually build a community like that.
Yeah, but then they could also be cops.
That's true.
I don't have weed. Come here now.
Stupid lazy cops. God. Can you come get arrested? Thanks.
It's like getting a free boat flyer.
I can't wait until it's legalized here.
So,
Sports.
Did you say sporks?
I love sporks. Alright, so I'm gonna keep sports simple. There's been a lot of stuff, even in the debate, they talked about it the other night, about sites like FanDuel and, what's the other one?
DraftKings, yeah.
Who, pretty much, it's taking fantasy sports, which have been around for years, and turning into just straight on gambling, and it hasn't been that bad until recently when they're shoving it down your throat.
Yeah.
Because they literally paid like millions of dollars to be in every fucking commercial ever.
Yeah.
So
like they are, yeah, especially during games, they are 90% of the commercials on your TV during games.
It makes you not want to watch games. It's annoying as fuck. So, everybody's been talking shit about it, trying to get rid of it, saying it's not good or anything. There's been cases where they realized that people who worked for the company were using inside information and getting millions of dollars and winning. So, then there had to be lawsuits against that. It was crazy. So, the biggest thing that could happen to it actually happened today when Redskins wide receiver Pierre Garçon filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of NFL players against FanDuel. And pretty much in the lawsuit it states that FanDuel is profiting off of players and their identities and what they're doing.
They're like using the video game lawsuit, like you aren't licensed to use our likeness and stuff.
You're not licensed.
Yeah.
They never even asked.
You're not
technically, sites like Yahoo and NFL.com and those sites linked up through mother sites of cable networks, they actually have the rights of NFL players to do fantasy.
Yeah.
And they're not profiting off of it. I think like they allow small time bets, but not through the site, through people, and it'll keep track of it for you in your league, but they don't accept money from you. FanDuel and them are accepting money and doing the gambling, and all the attacks that people have been having on it, this is like the biggest blow. This could actually shut them all down, because FanDuel not only does football, but it does every other sport.
Yeah, they do.
So if Major League Soccer and FIFA and all these other, they go
and this is like the fall is when all sports are in at one time. The fall is when you have baseball going and football and basketball all at the same time.
Everybody coming in, they're not gonna have money for any of those lawsuits. They're done.
Yeah.
The companies will have to shut down. CEOs take their banks and just leave.
You really think?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean,
I think with this big push and as dumb as America is right now, I think they made their money enough to fight, but they'll eventually change what they do.
no. Well, I mean, no. Like you said, the video game rule. I mean, 2K for a while was just having people with numbers on them because they couldn't get the rights. Stealing someone's
like
personality,
they win that every time.
Yeah, you'll win every time. You cannot steal somebody.
You can't steal somebody's music. You can't steal somebody's likeness. You can't steal somebody's talent.
The NFL is just putting the first knife in, and then the rest of the people are just going to start going. And FanDuel, next season, we won't be worrying about FanDuel commercials. They're already on a thin wire with the whole gambling thing. The way they're doing gambling is already barely legal. So, yeah. So they knew, the people who created FanDuel and DraftKings knew in the beginning.
They knew this was coming.
We got 3-4 good years.
They already knew how to skate it.
Make our millions, blame it on these guys, and bounce out. And it's not even like they gotta blame it. Everyone knows what they're doing. They're blatantly robbing people blind.
Yeah, that's like high-end gambling, dude. Like, I mean, this isn't like... I mean, they show you the $1 million checks. They don't show you how many people lost, like, thousands of dollars. Like, people, like, who have that type of money to put into... Because, I mean... And the problem is, you know, they're preying on the economy. Because, I mean, you can't just take, you know, thousands of dollars and put them in a CD anymore and let them mature.
Exactly. No one has time for that.
So now they're, like...
Gambling.
Ugh.
And it's crazy. And I researched it because FanDuel's have really caught me because I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So I researched it. The average winnings is $330. Out of the millions and millions and millions of dollars that go in there every day, the average winning is $333.
So a bad average.
It offers you right off to double your deposit. So you put $200, it'll do $200. Chances out of that $200 you win back anything above $200 is like 0.14, something like that.
Well, that's why they call it gambling.
No, I know, but it's ridiculous.
But it's not supposed to be gambling.
It's not supposed to be gambling though. That's how that's the thing. It's gambling. You just thought it was gambling.
You just let the cat in the bag.
They don't consider themselves gambling, which is how they're able to be open.
It's not supposed to be gambling.
Yeah, that's the catch of it. They are gambling. It is gambling, but the way they do it with fantasy football and fantasy sports, they're not gambling.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which is why I hate them so
Yeah,
much.
stuff that cat back in the bag.
I don't know sports or gambling.
I don't know gambling very much.
I don't either.
I
I'm
know
not a
that
big
it's
scammer.
bad.
Wow.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Being addicted to gambling is bad.
Yeah.
But being addicted to cock is...
Depending on your situation and who you are, being addicted to cock can make you a lot of money.
I don't understand how it got there.
Hi guys, welcome to the What If segment of the Smoking Table. I'm Derek the Jedi, and we each have 3 movie characters that we'd like to smoke with, and I'd like to start out with my 3 people. With my 3 people. These are from movies, just the characters, not the actors. Like, we're doing the characters. And my first person would be Darth Vader, because, come on, can you imagine getting high with Darth Vader?
I don't know. I think he'd have a hard inhale. He breathes kind of heavy.
No, that would be cool if his mask was the bong.
I'd be too confused, like, where do I put the weed and where do I light? You're already breathing heavy.
He puts the weed in the little bag in front of him and just closes it up and they see smoke coming out of his mask. It's a vaporizer on his chest.
I like that picture.
Alright, who's your second one?
Well, yeah.
My second person I'd like character I'd like to get high with is Heath Ledger's Joker, because he seemed really insane, and I thought that was really cool. And it was like a realistic view of the Joker if it was like in the real world, you know.
Wouldn't you be afraid he'd cut you?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with it?
No.
I would.
I don't like getting stabbed.
Getting stabbed.
And for my third movie character to get high with, I'd like to smoke with Forrest Gump. I love you, Janet. I love you, Mary Jane.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
Sorry for bogarting your joint, Derek.
What does that mean?
I wish like we were still in the 40s so I could just light up a cigarette wherever I am. Wherever the fuck I was.
At work.
On planes.
Course.
It doesn't matter where the fuck you are. Come to pick your kid up from daycare, smoking a cigarette with scotch in the other hand.
Yeah.
Alright.
I get an ashtray and mini bar right in front of your daycare.
My three people that I would smoke with will be first Alonzo Harris, played by Denzel Washington in Training Day, because I want to be Ethan Hawke. Every time I watch that movie, I always thought of becoming a cop just so I could be in that situation. And having a dirty cop give me the most fucked up day ever. I'd love it. I'd be a dirty cop if I was a cop. I would instantly follow in Denzel Washington's footsteps. Probably kill him at the end of the movie, take over his shit.
Isn't that what happened? He got killed at the end of the
Yeah,
movie
he
by
got
the
killed,
people.
but Jake was still a good
money,
guy. Ethan Hawke is still a good guy. I wouldn't have stayed a good guy. I would have been a bad guy.
You should rewrite that, submit it, put it out there.
Fox will pick it up.
Training Day 2.
Training Day 2. How it's supposed to go. Alright. And my second one would be Riggs from Lethal Weapon. Because, honestly, it'd be Mel Gibson in general, but that was my favorite character he played. Braveheart was a close second.
Even better than Mad Max?
I never watched Mad Max.
You want a little bit more Mel Gibson anyways, though, because the new Mel Gibson is crazier than any character he's ever played.
Oh, God, yeah. But he's, awesome crazy. He's one of those people I respect for their craziness. And third is Jar Jar Binks. Solely because I want to lace...
You want to kill him?
I want to kill him. Yeah,
right
off the back. Yeah.
Why does everybody get in for Jar Jar?
I want to get him so high that he doesn't realize that I'm dragging him into the trunk of my car, tied up, and I'm dumping him into a lake.
So what happens if it's an adverse effect on Jar Jar Binks? Adderall's an adverse effect on
Everybody?
adults versus kids. If you get Jar Jar Binks high, does he calm the fuck down and is he cool?
I don't know.
Or maybe he's 10 times worse. Maybe
Yeah.
he gets super paranoid and he's already bad.
Then I'll just straight up kill him because I don't think it's illegal to kill him.
Me, I think there's somebody outside. Yeah, you'd have to kill Jar Jar for sure.
Kill Jar Jar.
Real quick.
So that's your 3?
Yeah, that's my 3.
Nice. Alright, so in my 3, I got Roger. I just think that, you've already seen what Roger does when he's high.
Yeah. He seems like he'd be super fun to get high with.
Yeah.
And just go on an adventure.
Wait, Roger who?
From the alien from American Dad.
Oh, the guy that's always dressing up like a chick?
Dresses up as a chick, an Asian guy, an old person with a colostomy
He's always got a
bag.
costume.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still tell he's an alien.
It's like Brain from Inspector Gadget. As a matter of fact, can I do just can I keep Roger and Brain as one and just smoke with both of them?
No, because then there's one more person in the party.
Yeah, you're still missing one more.
No, I'm saying like I want them two as one person.
As one person?
Yeah. Just people who can't be, and Bugs Bunny too. Throw him in the mix too. Basically, anybody who is obviously a animal or whatever in disguise, but nobody around them seems to know that. Because I want to smoke with them and just ask them, how does it feel to know that everybody around you is that fucking stupid? Oh, my second person that I'd want to smoke with is Foghorn Leghorn.
There you go.
I say, I'm high.
Because I think that would be like an awesome conversation for a session, and then I would push him in the oven.
Yeah.
That's a nice big ass chicken when you're high.
I don't like to get called boy though, especially not by no chicken.
I mean, that's that southern twang that just comes with being deep fried.
Yeah. And delicious. Would you eat Foghorn Leghorn?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna discuss that on the next podcast. Future ideas. I would eat the fuck out of Foghorn Leghorn.
Push him in a pool of barbecue sauce.
Yo.
Buffalo, bitch. Like the end of a fucking movie, you're pushing them into a vat of buffalo sauce.
My third person that I'd like to smoke with is it's another one of those things where it has two people in this category. Cause I'd want Edward Scissorhands and Pikachu. Cause I think, cause Pikachu can.
That can get fluffy.
No, I'm just saying Pikachu could like spark the blunts, and then Edward Scissorhands for the dabs.
I was wondering how you would combine those two because I was thinking electricity.
I don't think you'd ever combine those two because
Edward Scissorhand all shocky, that'd be amazing.
But Edward Scissorhands can do dabs off his fingers. And that's awesome because everybody burns themselves on dab nails.
Huh. But then wouldn't his fingers get all resiny and then stop working? He just have real sticky scissors on the end of his hand.
Oh, did he lose his job? What was he doing? Landscaping, wasn't he?
Yeah. He just ruined Edward Scissorhands.
And there's like, anytime he got stopped by a cop, he's guilty. There's so much resin on your scissors, they don't work anymore, sir. It's been like that for 3 months now.
He keeps wondering why squirrels keep climbing up his legs.
Can you imagine if Pikachu gets stoned and then goes into like a deep talk, but all you can say is Pikachu? So you sit there for like 15 minutes just listening to him say Pikachu in depressing voices.
I swear it.
But you would have to listen because you don't want to piss him off.
You don't want to piss him off. He's gonna like electrocute the shit out of you.
Pika.
Well, they all survived from Pikachu's fucking electricity, so.
That's because it. No, that dude's too crazy. Too crazy. He'd freak me the fuck out.
Alright, so that was sports. And hopefully my football season next year will be uninterrupted with stupid gambling sites. And that's my only hope. But, yeah.
Alright.
Sorry. It looked like you were gonna sneeze.
Alright, so those were our three, and those were, we pretty much ran on the table, so that's everybody's three people that they would like to smoke with. You know what? We want more feedback for the show, so feel free to hit us up on one of our various mediums. Tell us about your three people that you like to smoke with. Tell us what you think of our shows. Tell us what you think of our laughs. Tell us what you think about the movement of marijuana in Florida.
There you go.
So hit us up on one of our following mediums. Speaking of which, the Tumblr has actually gotten pretty popular.
It has. For next week's episode, if you check out the Tumblr, I'm gonna open up an Ask Me section, and you can send us your fan mail and your questions and everything, and interact with us. And we'll read your comments and answer your questions on the show that you put onto the Tumblr.
Cool.
So check out the Tumblr and send us your questions.
That'll be cool.
We also have our YouTube. We have our Facebook. We also have our Twitter. And speaking of our Twitter, shout out to Doug Benson. We went out to go see his comedy show at the Improv in Tampa. And it was actually a really, really good show. And I mean, we got a tweet read on stage.
Yeah,
so
that was pretty cool. Knowing that he typically does that on stage, is retweets, and I sent him one out asking him to please be funny. And he was funny. He was real funny. The Improv is a pretty cool venue. The food wasn't half bad except for that barbecue sauce with the chicken strip.
Yeah, don't have the barbecue sauce at the Tampa Improv.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of sauce that is.
And for God's
It's
sakes,
not barbecue.
get waitresses that have a personality. You work in a comedy club, for sake.
You don't need waitresses as a personality at comedy clubs. They don't want to draw attention away from the person talking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the catch.
So the waiters and waitresses go out there and try and bum you down so that you really feel like you got
So that guy really,
that would almost
he
be a
brightened
good
up your
strategy
day.
if that
He
really
brightened up your day. He made you happy because your service was shitty.
Doug was good. That was cool.
And lastly, before we go, I did want to also completely shamelessly plug again for everybody to do your part, get your petitions out. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. You don't have to talk to strangers. Print out some petitions, keep them in your car. I mean, it's the little things that count because, I mean, between the people who have already lost their right to vote because of the current marijuana laws and the people who will lose their right to vote if this doesn't pass in 2016, our chances won't be any better in 2018 nor in 2020. I mean, as I research stuff for this show, I always sift through a million marijuana busts through the news that I read online. So it's not getting any better. I mean, even Bernie Sanders in his speech, showed that they're ramping up the efforts. Let's stop them in this war on drugs by just going ahead and doing what the people can do and saying enough is enough.
Yeah, we've already proved that we've got the majority of the vote. The majority of the state wants this to happen. All we need is a little bit more push.
We just got to do the legwork.
Every 5 votes you can get is that much closer. Don't think that one vote doesn't count. Don't think that one person signing a petition doesn't count, because it does. Put it out there and get it out there and get it done.
And don't get me wrong, we agree, because me and Dre were talking about this the other day, that it's actually shitty that you can't do this kind of stuff online in this day and age. But, I mean, it takes a little old-fashioned effort to get stuff done. Let's just get it done. Thank you guys for listening. So from all of us here at the Smoking Table, this is Jay.
I'm Dre.
I'm Bob. I'm Derek.
Let's get it done, people.
Yes.
Meow.
Wow. Alright, good job.
I was thinking of doing the Derek thing. And
Were you?
like,
I